Sorry about the wind, everybody. The big 1956 Chrysler has moved from the grass to the driveway. It drove there under its own power, amazingly. But it's time to get stuck into the brakes. I've already pulled this side off and discovered there is a lot of play in that kingpin and the bushings. So I'll have to get on to hunting down a new kingpin kit for it. And discovered why the exhaust leaks so bad on this side, because of a bent and twisted up exhaust pipe. But other than that, underneath here is really solid. Just needs the grime cleaning off. And come around the other side. And I haven't pulled this side apart yet. So, discovered to pull it off. The best way to do it is release the springs, undo the wheel cylinders. There's a bolt on the back, I think it's 7/16 from memory. Undo this brake line from the wheel cylinders. Undo the brake hose up here from the back of the wheel cylinder, and then this plate is sort of clocked and locks in these wheel cylinders, so you have to unbolt these bolts as well, and that will allow the whole backing plate to come off and this centre section to twist around, release the shoes, and then you can pop out the wheel cylinders. Here's the driver's side, or the passenger side I should say, being left-hand drive. So this is all disassembled. Now the shoes on this side were rusted to the drum. How the wheel was actually turning I'm not quite sure, but to get the drum itself off was not an easy task. I literally had to put the wheel back on the hub and drum and use a sledgehammer to bash it off. But I got that off. There's the hub still in the rim, and worked out how to disassemble the brakes. Now these wheel cylinders are much the same as what the master cylinder was like, and they're not very, I'd say that they were new before the car got parked up, and they've just got a little bit of surface rust that sort of jammed everything up in the bores. So I've got them soaking in WD-40. I'll take that brake hose off and take in and get two new ones made for the front. And the brake shoes, I've had a look. You can buy them out of the US online, but by the time they landed in Australia and the exchange rate, it's super expensive. So I am going to take these two shoes in to the local brake specialist and see if I can get the shoes relined and whether that is going to be more cost effective. Some of you might ask, how on earth do you get the big springs off? There's a lot of tension on them, and from doing this for years, the easiest way is with a pair of vice grips. Get that on there and wedge something solid in between that and the shoe. That pops off. So that's got that side all disassembled as well. Bolts and bits and pieces in the wheel cap. But underneath this side looks exceptionally good as well. There's no wild rust holes or anything. The car underneath is very solid. Needs some small floor patching, and of course just a little bit of panel rust along the bottom, along each side, which is all easy repair stuff to do. I think on the other side I am missing the top bump stop here. It's probably disintegrated. I'll see if I can get another one of those. Bottom one looks okay. Car sits pretty good, so I don't think the springs have sagged at all. And Doesn't seem to be any play in this side, but you can only buy the kingpin kits as a set, so I'll likely replace both sides. The kingpin is this part in behind the spindle instead of ball joints top and bottom. Old cars like this ran a steel pin with bronze bushes on the top and bottom, and they just pivot on an axis, and the up down movement is taken through these ones. I'll go and soak these wheel cylinders with the others and see if we can get them apart without destroying the seals and save them. Just started pulling the seat out, ready so I can get the old rotten carpet out and give it a good clean out and assess the floors. The seal trim didn't come out with too much trouble. There's a couple of rusted off bolts that just pulled through. And how cool is this? The electric seat still works. Got to be pretty happy with that. So I can pull this trim off now and get to the bolts in behind it. Seat bolts aren't coming out without too much fuss, to give them a liberal dosing of lubricant. Keep going. So I'm just jumping ahead a bit. I've got the seat all unbolted. I'm waiting on an extra pair of hands to turn up so I can actually get that out. So I started on cleaning the boot up. Amazingly, the original carpet and the cardboard side pieces were all intact, although pretty rough, but good enough to make templates from. Started scraping all the body deadener out of the boot, and amazingly that's all pretty solid too. Only real rust is just down along this back edge here, which should be a relatively easy piece to replace. If you are scraping this stuff out and you're working on one of these old cars from 40s, 50s, 60s, it is highly likely that this sort of body deadener tar stuff contains asbestos, so try not to grind it and make too much dust with it, and wear a mask, proper respirator, and I'll sweep all this and contain it in plastic bags, get the worst of it up, then vacuum it out. A couple of hours later, I've scraped the worst of it off. Everywhere the body deadener is still stuck is pretty good metal underneath it. I washed it all out, vacuumed it, and pulled the rubber seal out from around the boot lip, the trunk lip I should say, being an American car. So a few pinholes to address. Overall it's really not too bad. A couple of pinholes there, there's a couple down the side there, and one down the front here. So all pretty easy little patch pieces to put in. Dremel it out, cut a little plate, weld it in, grind it back, fluff it up. A few little pinholes in the boot floor. I started wire wheeling it all, but there's nothing really too bad to worry about. I should be able to just spot weld those up with a MIG. Some of them, this patch here is pretty thin. I may put a small patch plate just in that section, but overall really happy with it. I thought it was going to be a lot worse than what it is. The battery went flat on the grinder, so I'll come back tomorrow and finish wire wheeling this and go and get some rust converter treatment and paint it all up. It's sort of at the point where saved the car just in time. If it was left too much longer, a lot of this rust would have got really bad really quick, and it would have turned into a major job to resurrect it. So I've caught it just in time to clean it all up, treat it, and save the car. I've just spent this afternoon pulling the fuel tank out. Surprisingly, it's still got a bit of fuel in it. The tank strap bolts broke off, which is to be expected. And went to the hardware store and bought some citric acid. It's actually concrete floor paint etch. I went through all the chemicals I could find there and found this one, which was citric acid. And I'm soaking the wheel cylinders, and so far it's doing quite a really good job. See it bubbling away there. I'll leave them to soak for a while and clean the fuel tank out. Once I've got that cleaned out, I'll dump the citric acid into the fuel tank, and that should clean that up. And I've also bought this stuff, which I use to treat the inside of the trunk floor, boot, whatever you want to call it. That's the fuel that just come out of the fuel tank, and that, my friends, is good old red lead super. So the chances are, if that was still in the tank is in really good condition. Found in the past old wrecks that have still had leaded super in the fuel tanks. They don't rust out like modern fuels do. I'll clean the tank up, pull the sender unit out, get a torch and have a good look in there, see what it's like. So I've just popped the sender unit out. It's actually seems to be in really good condition, and inside the tank is like new, other than a bit of crud. Good washout and it'll be perfectly fine. There's no rust in there anywhere, even condensation rust along the top. There's nothing. It's excellent. So I'm pretty stoked with that. Just needs to clean up on the outside and a coat of paint. It'll be good to go. I degreased the front stub axle assembly. It's been well greased in its lifetime. It's sort of preserved everything, thankfully. But that's the amount of dirt that I scraped off the other side. This is the side that I've cleaned up already. Got most of the gunge off there. I'll give it another degrease and then hit it with a pressure washer and wire wheel. Give it a coat of rebuild black. Gunge. Well, that's got this side pretty well cleaned up. As good as it's going to get until it gets another degrease and pressure wash. Wheel cylinders have been percolating in the acid for just over 24 hours now. You can see they're looking a lot cleaner than what they were. All the surface rust seems to be gone. I think it's about time now to wash them up in some fresh water, neutralise the acid, and see if we can get the wheel cylinders out. The pistons out of the wheel cylinders, I should say. So these are the wheel cylinders for the front brakes, all disassembled. I think the pistons will be savable, but I'll have to try and match up some cup seals for them, and I'll have to send off the wheel cylinders to go and have them re-sleeved. I think there's some pretty bad rust pitting inside the bores, and it's a bit deep to try and hone out. Unfortunately, new ones are available out of the US, or remanufactured ones, but again, everything is incredibly expensive for these. I'll be trying to hunt down somebody locally that can reline brake shoes as well. Unfortunately, there's the lining is separating off this shoe, and there's bits on the back side of that one that are starting to fall apart. So several days later, been chipping away at it slowly here and there. Rusty patch along the back here, as you can see, big pile of rust there. I've managed to cut all that out, so it's ready for a new panel to be fabricated and welded in. It's a bit of a process, sort of chip, chisel, cut, grind bits and pieces out, but it's out. Overall the boot floor is pretty good. It'll clean up alright. Underneath where the tools are, there's a couple of little pinholes. And I've been working on the inside as well. So I've got the front seat out and scraped up all the loose, got rid of the old carpet, scraped up all the loose body deadener to assess the floors. And it's not too bad. A little bit more work than I'd hoped, but this is the worst spot. Driver side floor pan. Luckily they're fairly flat floors, so it should be pretty easy to fabricate up some new pans. As you can see, it's a little bit Flintstone style, and around the other side that's all the mank that came out of the inside, carpet and whatnot. The back floor pan on the passenger side is pretty thin and got some holes, so this one will have to be replaced or a patch made for it. And there's a little bit just down here in the front passenger floor pan and around the body mount, which it's going to be a little bit tricky to repair, but other than that the rest of it's fairly solid. And where this back floor pan is a little bit rotted, there is a little bit just down in there it's a bit holey. Trimmed up the disintegrating dash cover and slapped a cable tie on the roof lining to hold it up. So I don't want to pull the roof lining out just yet. When you're working on these sort of things, stuff isn't necessarily easily available off the shelf to buy replacement stuff. You sort of need to leave this stuff intact so that you can use it as templates to remake new stuff. Ordered a windscreen for it today at an exorbitant cost, but I have one on its way. Not quite sure how long that will take, but it will get here eventually. So I think that's where I'll leave it for this episode. Make sure you keep an eye out for the next instalment on the restoration of the 1956 CHRYSLER New Yorker St.Regis 2-door hardtop. And see if we make some more progress. The idea is treat the floors, rust converter. I finished scraping off the body deadener in here and give it a wire wheel. Make sure I uncover all the thin areas and get it all treated so it will hold it, stop it rusting any further. Same with the boot floor, and start making some patch panels. And if you've made it this far, please consider giving us a like, share and subscribe, and let me know what you think of the beast in the comments. What should I do with it? Restore it to original or hot rod it?